Hello friends, welcome back to the session on Human Resources Management. I am Resham, faculty of MBA from Noida Institute of Engineering Technology, Greater Noida. And in today's session, we are going to see about total quality management and how it is going to be helpful in HRM. So, when we talk about human resource management, we are going to see how the elements of TQM are going to affect it and what are the guidelines of total quality management and how is it that we are going to link HR practices to business strategy and other areas of TQM. So, first and foremost, let us understand what is total quality management. When we talk about total quality, we think in terms of doing the right things and the right things for the first time itself, and how we do the right things every time and how we apply improvement in whatever process we are doing and how we give importance to the customer. So, total quality management totally focuses on the customers and the improvement in the existing process. So, when we talk about the competition that is prevailing in the industry today, we need to understand that unless the product that we deliver and the services that we are going to deliver to our customer are not quality oriented, the customer is not going to get satisfied, and moreover, if he is not happy with the delivery of the product or the services, he or she may shift into another product. So, it is very important for any organization to keep a tab of the quality and also make sure that every time it is delivered with the same competitive advantage and it is always in the same level of quality that is being earmarked by the organization. So, the standard practices that every organization need to follow is a very crucial part in terms of the human resources, because it is the human resource of the organization that will render the services to the customer. So, this becomes a very crucial part of the HR department to train the employees according to the requirement of the organization and ensure that quality is being maintained. So, let us quickly see what is the linkage between TQM and HRM. First and foremost thing is TQM and HRM both are in pursuit of the same goal, that is profitability, productivity, customer oriented company and motivated workforce. So, unless the employees are not motivated, they will not be fulfilling the requirements of the organization and neither they will be in a position to satisfy their customer. So, when we talk about today's organization, it is towards customer oriented and the productivity and profitability totally depends on how good the organization is performing in terms of its sales and revenue generation. So, ultimately it is always customer in focus and this is ensured by the employees of the organization. So, if we talk about how to be fully successful and self-sustaining, TQM requires extensive refunctioning of HRM practices and successful implementation of various TQM practices are positively related to HRM function. So, there comes the relationship between HRM and TQM. So, every practice of TQM need to be positively related with the HRM function and this can be possible through various stages which is to be followed by HR. So, the link between HRM and TQM is identified in the areas of development like empowering the people. So, the employees in the organization need to be empowered and there should be a shift from control based style of management to empowering management. So, we talk about empowering management, it means that not that every employee should be feeling the pressure of being monitored. It should come naturally for the employee to work towards quality oriented product and services. So, rather than the boss always telling the employee to work in a qualitative manner, it should be on the part of the employee that he should take initiatives and the measures in order to render a good quality output. So, it is always important for the organization to empower the employees How will they empower the employees? The empowerment will come when the employee will be satisfied with the product and the quality of environment that he is receiving. So, if he or she has got the leverage to take certain decisions as per the need of the hour, that is when the employee will feel more empowered. So, when we talk about organization, say if we walk into outlet of a particular product, and if a customer is expecting some kind of a customers feedback, or if the customer is expecting some kind of tailor making to happen in the product that is being offered to him, it is only possible if the employee is aware of certain guidelines that is possible to be taken there. Say for example, if we walk into a showroom for a say for a tailor made fashion garment, and if a customer is expecting there should be some alteration to be made in the fitment of the product, the employee should be aware whether he can make certain charges and make certain customization to the existing garment. If that is possible, then it can be, this offer can be given or extended to the customer, and hence the customer will feel happy about it, and he will be contented with the services provided and the product provided by the organization. So, this is not possible if the employee is not given the empowerment of taking decisions at that moment. And moreover, the management should be having an approach or an attitude towards employee that they will be in a position to take right decisions whenever it is required. So, unless that is not present in the approach of the management, empowerment of the employee will not happen. And next important point is, attention is focused on coaching and learning of the employees. So, when we talk about coaching and learning, here we talk about the development of the employees in the areas which require some kind of a training, and organizations focus on current technology and the improvement that is happening in the various areas of the services and the product. So, every employee should be given the required training whenever it is important and whenever there is a change happening in the organization. So, unless that is not done, the employee will not be trained in the new areas, and if it is not done, then TQM will not come into play. So, when the employee is given training related to enhancing the quality of the services or the product, that is when TQM comes in play. And the next important thing that the Deming said about TQM, that the notion of improvement and empowerment is always there in the TQM process. So, every employee should involve themselves in terms of how they can improve and enhance the process in hand. Every employee should give some kind of a input to improve the existing process, and every time he is making some changes or improvement in it, the entire organization will get benefit out of it. So, this is how TQM is connected with HRM. The guideline of total quality management, the first and foremost thing is that TQM is customer focused, and every organization which is thinking about maintaining a high standard and high business growth, they should focus on the need and requirement of the customer and try to render the services to the customer towards retaining them and not for one time customer satisfaction. So, if we talk about service based industry, customer focus is out more important, because if the customer is not satisfied, he may switch over to another company. And the strategy that is involved towards a company wide involvement in the organization, the first and foremost thing that every employee within the organization should think about what is the strategy of the organization and what is that we are focusing in the next few years to come. Say if we take an example of companies like Infosys or TCS, they focus more towards high quality customer satisfaction and working in close network with the customer and ensuring that the benefit that is given by the product reaches to the end customer in the same manner as they have planned it. So, it involves a lot of there is a wide range of improvement that can happen in the organization if every employee in the organization works towards attaining the organization's goals and the strategy that has been designed by the organization. TQM also aims at satisfying or delighting the customer. When we talk about customer delight, the focus is not just to render the service or the product to the customer. When we talk about delight, it is more than what the customer is expecting. So, if we take products today, there are lots of online contests that are happening or offers that are coming to customers. Say for example, if we talk about the offers during festival season or during a particular Independence Day or things like that, when the customer is waiting for certain products to come with a special kind of a offer or a discount and he gets it during that particular period, he or she ends up in making the purchases. So, if we talk about companies like Amazon or Flipkart, there are lots of offers that gets floated during a particular period of time, and every time the customer is waiting for such kind of offers to come in, and when the offers are there, the customer ends up purchasing what he has planned earlier. Apart from that, if we talk about a service industry, say for example, we talk about resorts, and a customer walks into the resort and he makes a plan for a 3-day stay, and if the customer finds that the services given by the particular resort is good enough and he extends his stay for another day, it shows that he is delighted and he is happy about the services that are given to him during his stay, and he now feels like he can stay for another day and he extends his stay with the particular resort. So, this is a example of how customer is delighted if he or she is given extra care or if his needs are being satisfied by the organization, and this will help him to be more oriented towards a particular organization. When a delightful customer is completing his sales, he or she is sure about passing this benefit to the organization by either making a purchase again or by spreading through word of mouth to another customer about the services that he has received from this particular organization. So, a delightful customer is one, a retained customer, and two, he or she will also be helpful in expanding the sales of the organization by referral. So, these are some of the important aspects in TQM as well, and TQM also focuses on cost effective ways in which a service can be rendered. So, total quality focuses on reducing the damages or the losses happening through loss of quality and also wastage. So, when a service or a product has less defect, that is when cost effectiveness comes in picture, because the total cost incurred for manufacturing those defective products will now be saved, and this will become a cost effective method of making more production or sales. So, the organization should train the employee in order to use the products or even manufacture the products in a much cost effective manner. If the wastage is reduced, the total cost of producing the product also will reduce, and this will give either a higher margin or pass on this benefit to the customer by providing the product in much lesser price when compared to the earlier price. So, these are certain ways in which total quality management helps the organization. Apart from that, there is a belief of fundamental changes that should happen in the practices of the organization. When people do the same process time and again, it creates a set of monotony amongst the employees as well as the customer. So, change is inevitable, and it is very, very important for employees to identify various areas where there can be certain changes that can happen, and this will also give a reflection that the employee or the organization is striving to improve themselves every time they come up with a new product or new services. So, whenever the organization brings new changes to the product line, it means that they are ready to make changes, and they are ready to offer a better quality product to their customers. So, prevention of defect is also very, very crucial, and zero defect is the target of every organization. When we talk about zero defect, we mean that the organization plans to reduce on the number of defects that are there in the production process. Now, what are the ways in which zero defect can be done? The various methods that can be used for ensuring zero defect is quality control and monitoring. So, when we talk about quality control, it is monitoring from the production stage, right from the raw material and the product process which we are going to use for manufacturing. So, when the raw materials are of a good quality, that is when we will ensure that there is a good quality output. Apart from that, the entire process will have various stages, and in every stage, if we are able to curtail the number of defects, then the end product that we will receive will also be in a good quality. So, it is not that at the end that we will be monitoring whether there is a defect. Right from the stage 1 or even stage 0, when the raw material is being procured, that is when we have to ensure the quality, and at every stage we should ensure that quality is being maintained, and if there is any scope for improvement, then it should be implemented. So, these are the various methods in which zero defects can be maintained, and total quality management is totally methodological approach, and TQM is the same as in HRM. It is very, very methodological. How is that happening? Because if we talk about HRM, here we follow a standard practice of in every aspect of it. Say for example, we talk about staffing or we talk about hiring. Here we follow a standard method wherein the entire recruitment process comes in picture when the HR planning happens, and the staffing is done through a particular method. So, every stage is followed, and that is when the methodological approach in HRM matches with the TQM approach and provides meaningful measures for performance and guide the employees to put effort in every stage and all the people who are involved in the organization to take meaningful measures for performance. So, HRM also does the similar kind of thing wherein performance appraisal is done for every employee in a periodic manner, and this is based upon the criteria that is set by the organization or the parameters that are set in the organization in which they are going to get monitored, and the skills and the capabilities of the employees are being monitored in every stage in order to ensure that employees are effective in the organization. So, here we can see that there is a complete linkage between HRM and TQM. So, TQM has a high impact on the human resource management. In it emphasizes on self control, autonomy and creativity amongst the employees, and calls for a great active cooperation rather than just compliance. So, when we tell about active cooperation of the employees, here we talk about the ways in which an employee ensures that the quality of service that he is rendering to the customer, he puts some personal effort in how he is going to offer that, or how he is going to reach out to the customer, and how he is going to make a difference to the customer every time he meets them. If we talk about banking, nowadays most of the process is online, but however there are relationship managers appointed for every customer in the banking process, and the role of the relationship manager here is that he or she ensures that the customer is satisfied, and whatever problems he or she is coming up with, it is the role of the relationship manager to solve those problems by giving whatever possible outcomes are there, whatever possible measures he can take in order to solve those problems. So, when this mindset is not there in the employee, the customer may end up with having the problem continuously, and if the issue is not resolved, the customer will feel disheartened, or he will not feel contented and will start looking for alternative products in the market and may switch over to another product. So, it is very crucial for every employee to put some personal attention and actively cooperate towards the achievement of the organization's goals. And also there is a emphasis on self control. When we talk about self control in HRM, be it a team or be it an individual employee, if he or she is allotted a particular task, there needs to have self control in terms of how they deliver the task. So, when an employee is not being monitored or being monitored, whichever be the condition, even if they are doing the task independently or in a group without any monitoring or being monitored, it is very crucial that the employee showcase some self discipline and self control in rendering the task. So, it is totally in the hands of the employees as to how good they complete their task and how they achieve their targets. So, the impact of total quality management and talent resourcing. Placing the right people in the right job is going to reduce the staff turnover rate and the cost involved in constant recruitment. Now, why is it that talent management requires total quality management? When organization talk about talent, we are very sure that it is very difficult to identify or get right talent for the organization, and the entire task of recruitment has got various stages and it requires a lot of involvement of both time and effort and also money. So, it is very crucial that when we identify the employees or when we recruit the employees, we should find the right kind of talent and put them into the right kind of work, because this will, if a placement of the employee is not done in the right manner, he or she, if they are a very potential employee and if they have the right kind of talent, then they may end up being disheartened and if they do not get the right kind of challenges, they may not be able to perform to their level of expectation, and slowly they may start getting dissatisfied and start looking into other job opportunities. So, when there is a vacancy arising out of such kind of situation, then it becomes more I mean, it becomes more expensive for the organization to replace the existing role, and the vacancy that will arise will also require lot of effort again for the HR department to make a replacement, and the vacancy cost will also add up to the existing cost that is there in recruitment. So, ultimately talent resourcing should be done in the right manner, and the TQM HR practices is also there in every stage of job analysis, and also in other HR practices like organizational commitment, job involvement of the employee, and every stage of job analysis also require total quality management, because the various stages of job analysis like job design, job enrichment, job enlargement, every area has got quality involved in it, and the job specification and description also gains immense benefit in terms of quality results when compared to the organization which do not practices TQM in job analysis. When I say this, I mean to say that if the organization do not focus on job description or job specification in a qualitative manner, they may end up getting the wrong people for the task, and ultimately the purpose will not be solved, and the quality output will also not get generated, because we would have not hired the right person for that particular job. So, ultimate aim of the organization should be towards quality, and emphasis should be given towards every stage quality, because if at any one given stage quality is not ensured, then it will lead to a cost, and that will become burdensome to the organization. So, HR practices also requires teamwork and training. So, total quality management should be followed in every training program that is being given by the organization. If we do not ensure quality in training, we will not be able to get the employees to do the task in the right order, because organizational commitment and involvement again requires lot of practice and perseverance from the side of the employees, and this is only possible if the employees are being trained in the right manner, and the effectiveness of every employee will improve as he gets trained and put efforts towards the quality practices. So, in employee empowerment and leadership also requires lot of quality, and the entire leadership activity requires quality improvement, and the work culture of the organization should have a positive attitude, and leadership should be in such a way that it creates a positive environment and a positive work culture, so that the team members feel contented and focus more towards the achievement of the organizational goals, rather than getting frustrated or not putting their maximum efforts. So, empowering the employees is a task of the leader, and if and only the leader is focused towards quality, the team will work towards achieving the quality. If that does not happen, then the entire team may not be functioning. So, this is how the entire training practices requires total quality management, and HRM is linked with total quality management. Thank you.